Many other cameras are more powerful, have more features such as IBIS and autofocus, have perhaps better resolution, better low light performance, and can do things the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro can't. My name is Ruben, and I love music, cameras, filming, writing, editing, and everything related to filmmaking and living happier. I'm gonna give you 10 reasons why I still recommend the Pocket 6K Pro to a lot of people. I'm also going to give you 3 cons, and you probably didn't know one of them, so stay until the end. I purchased the Pocket 6K Pro about a year ago. I used to work with Canon cameras before. My last one was the EOS R. But as I couldn't accept losing 60 frames per second in 4K, I started hunting for a new camera. And I got my eyes on the Pocket 4K due to its fantastic image quality. When I was about to buy it, Blackmagic Design released the Pocket 6K Pro, which I thought was the right choice. I made the move, I got my brand new camera, and I want to let you know that one of the main factors that convinced me to buy it was the internal ND filters at 2, 4, and 6 stops. Some time ago, I watched a video by James Matthews where he makes a great comparison between the Sony a7S III, the Red Komodo 6K, the Sony FX6 and the Canon C7 and the Pocket 6K. And he said that back in 2020, the Pocket 6K wasn't very reliable. It didn't always turn on, etc. So he didn't recommend it for videography and corporate work. Well, this doesn't happen in 2022. Mainly with the Pocket 6K Pro. If you have one, you know how easy that menu is and how fast and responsive this camera is. I began using the camera, discovering, studying and using it for both personal videos and client work. In the beginning, I only recorded in ProRes LT. But then I started filming in B-RAW 6K, which I totally love. The possibility of recording in 6K RAW up to 50 frames per second and 4K ProRes is fantastic. I, however, recommend shooting Blackmagic RAW for the following reasons. Number 1, Resolve can easily handle it. Number 2, you can tweak white balance and ISO in Resolve without affecting image quality. And number 3, you can change the color space and gamma in Resolve without impacting image quality. If you like what you're seeing so far, consider subscribing and help me to keep making videos like this. Thank you very much. This camera is easy and straightforward to rig, as many brands provide accessories like small rig, tilta, etc. To put things in perspective, keep in mind the human eye has over 20 stops of dynamic range. And let's say the Red Komodo 6K claims to have 16 stops, the Sony FX6 15 plus, the Sony a7S III 14 stops, while the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro has 13 stops of dynamic range. The Pocket Cinema cameras feature dual gain ISO up to 25,600, which means they're optimized to minimize grain or noise in images while maintaining the sensor's full dynamic range. The native ISO of 400 is ideal for scenes with on-set lighting. The secondary high base ISO of 3200 is perfect when shooting in lower light conditions. This camera has mini jack 3.5 ports for headphones and mic. It has a full-size HDMI, USB-C port where you can connect an SSD external drive, 2 mini XLR ports, and a 12 volts power port. Do you need an extra monitor for this camera? Yes and no. You definitely don't need a camera monitor if you're filming someone or something. Its tilted display is very bright, even under direct sunlight. On the other hand, if you're filming yourself, you do need a camera monitor. What can we say about image quality? I think all the examples you'll find on YouTube speaks for themselves. In general, image quality is one of the most vital features of Blackmagic design cameras. This camera features the same Generation 5 color science as the high-end Ursa Mini Pro 12K. The new Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro delivers an even greater advancement in image quality with stunning accurate skin tones and precise color in every shot. You get a new dynamic 12-bit gamma curve designed to capture more color data and highlights and shadows for better looking images. I've said it, and many people are constantly saying that this would be the cheapest cinema camera on the market. This is the best image quality camera for its price, currently at $2,465.66 on Amazon. Well, if you don't know, you can check the prices of the Sony a7S III, the FX6, the Red Komodo 6K, and all these without considering lenses, media, and accessories. But let's go to the cons. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, like the 6K, is a Super 35 sensor. But is it? It has a sensor size of 23.10mm by 12.99mm. Super 35 film, on the other hand, has a size of 24.89mm times 18.66mm. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro has a crop factor of 1.07 horizontally, compared to a Super 35mm. This is not a significant difference, except when you're shooting in low resolutions. Lower resolutions are cropped, so you get a smaller sensor. With 6.5 anamorphic, you have a crop factor of 1.6 compared to true anamorphic, which is 21.95mm by 18.6mm. That is significant. With 4K DCI and UHD, you have a crop factor of 1.5 compared to a Super 35. So this is funny because you get slightly worse than the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Now, none of these technical characteristics are deal breakers, but I gotta be honest and tell you everything I've learned. I still think the Pocket 6K Pro should have a better battery life. You will get some of that battery stress when you use it. I have used the camera as it is. I have rigged it, and I believe that one of the best ways to use it would be one of those Anton Bauer batteries, the ones that you stick at the bottom of the camera. Please comment on that. I don't like the battery grip because of the ergonomics and form factor we've talked about a long time ago. And last but not least, this is not a light camera. This could be negative and positive simultaneously due to the lack of IBIS. This is a cinema camera, and cinema cameras are known for not having any stabilization. However, their weight helps them to be more stable and have that distinctive touch when you operate them handheld. Furthermore, this camera will become even heavier when you rig it. The good news here is that you can use this camera without any rig. You just need a lens. Check actually this video here if you want to get killer images at a fantastic price. A media, which you don't need to buy a super expensive CFast card, but just an SSD like the Samsung T5 for example, and batteries. I hope you liked this video and found it interesting and a good source of information. I believe the Pocket 6K Pro is still an excellent camera in 2022. Remember to live happier, eat healthier, stay fit, and never stop learning. See you in the next one. Thank you.